Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Scope workshop. Today, we are having not just one, but we're actually having three guests, and not just anyone. We are having our winners of the Scope track, people that have competed over the holidays. So while most of people were spending holidays, Christmas and New Year's, eating cookies, these people were actually building using Scope and pushing the boundaries of what real-time video AI can do. So before I go and present them, I want to share a couple of information. So as some of you know, on January 13th, so like 2 days ago, we had our demo day where we showcased finalists from both tracks, Stream Diffusion, Touch Designer track, and from the Scope track. Yesterday, my colleague Andrew showcased some of the winners from the Stream Diffusion track, and today's event is dedicated to winners from the Scope track. So we will have Lars, David, and Juan showcase their work, share their knowledge, and also answer your questions. So I would encourage you to, ask your questions. We're streaming this on YouTube, on X, on Discord. So wherever you are, feel free to share your questions, and we will get back to them. There should be a little QR code up in the corner, so you can also scan that one to join our Discord community. Or basically, not to force you with that one, there is a larger QR code that actually you can use to join our Discord community and ask your questions there. So this is all about Scope, as we always do on Thursdays. I want to answer one first question before we even start with this. People have already asking, are we going to have more of these hackathons or these creator programs like the one that we ran from the end of December till the mid of January? And the answer is yes. In the next several weeks, we will be reaching out and sharing more information about that. So definitely stay tuned. So we will be having these programs continuing and going on. We found them to be a really good experience, community-wise, but also for product building, as we get to learn a lot from people who are building together with us and with Scope. Next week, we will have a slightly different programming compared to the one that we're having right now. But now we are still riding this wave of our AI video program. So as always, it's all about Scope. I would encourage you to check out our GitHub repo to contribute to it, give it a star, see what the latest changes have been made. Recently, actually yesterday, I believe we released the latest version of our latest Scope version, beta version, as we are preparing to move towards more stable versions as we go along. And even in these early stages, while we were playing with alphas and betas, we had people pushing the boundaries and creating something really amazing. And one of such people is Juan. So I would like to welcome Juan, who built something really incredible. Juan, are you with us?
Yeah, hello.
Hola, hello. You are in Uruguay, right?
Yeah. I'm in Uruguay,
All right.
South America.
Yeah, we had people from all over the place and all over the world joining us for this program. So it was really nice to see people from, as I said, literally all over the place. And you had the privilege to go the first. Maybe you want to share with us a little bit more who you are for people who didn't get the pleasure and the chance to meet you. What do you do? How did you even find out about the Scope, and what got you excited about it?
Yes, of course. So I'm a digital artist. I like a lot of doing code, principally, like a creative technologist field. But I'm also like BJ. I work also like doing BJ in parties, principal. So I have like I like to use a lot of different programs or things to do visuals, to do interactive experiences like Unity, like web development in general. I really like Three.js, so that's why I choose that technology to use it, because I like that. It has a lot of it's easy to use. It's very accessible because it's like in the web. So that's one thing that I really like to do when interactive experiences, And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I started in the BJ scene in this world. like
Okay.
Resolume, like yeah.
So were you like you have like an engineering or development experience before that, or that came later on? Because for Three.js you need some development experience, engineering
Yeah,
experience. How did that work?
I I study back in the days in the high school. I do like here is like but bachelor, but it's different. I do
Mhm.
like informatics, but I study art, like fine arts. But in the fine
Okay.
arts school, they have have a grade that's called digital art and digital and
Mhm.
electronic arts.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, so there I started with processing. It was the first thing that I really entered the code world,
Hmm.
and Unity also, like with C sharp. But after that, I really entered like web, starting to do freelancing with doing webs, but also doing Three.js to do some webs and some interactive
Hmm.
installations. Yeah,
Awesome. Do you want to share your project with
yeah,
us? Walk us through it. Tell us, how you build it, and then we'll have more
yeah,
questions.
yeah. Of
So
course,
yeah, you want to take
I'm
it
showing
away?
like a gameplay video
Sure.
because
Let's bring
to
that
use it.
up on the screen.
Yeah, yeah. To use it right now, my internet is so not that good, so I prefer the record. I think.
No
Um,
worries.
yeah. So the this is like a concept game. Like the main idea and the main idea of how I use it, the decisions I made to use the scope in this way was also like because of the stage of right now has this type of technologies, because I started like thinking to use all the time to use the scope the AI canvas all the time in the game while you are like doing the locomotion, like moving, but has nowadays like a little delay, and it's like
Hmm.
a little like I don't know, like the immersion doesn't feel so right because it's not like the instant, no, but it's
It's
getting
not
there.
like a real time. It's not like a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
time,
it's not
full real
so
time
that
experience. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and that's why I decide that the best way I want to experiment this type of technologies in this in the game was like to only like be in one time in one moment, and I put it in one moment that is like uh, when when the game you give something to the orb. I will show it
Hmm.
to play myself better, huh? But I'm mixing the two canvases, the
Okay.
3D world, the 3D game, like there. But I use the AI in one moment to be more like after an effect, like a vision, like a concept. In one moment, like I'm this in a moment in that moment the you are going to one door and you are like grabbing some energy that you need to take to that collector,
Hmm.
and in the moment that you give that energy in the collector, it's like that concept is showing to you like a vision, that's the idea. But also it was like a way of thinking that bueno, in it's good to use it in one time for one purpose, to illustrate and to do like an effect or like an animation that has meaning,
Hmm.
and not mixing the two all the time,
So the
Uh,
model, the pipeline that you used for this was what were you experimenting with? Was it long live or some other
yeah,
pipeline?
was long life. Was long life. I tried a Stream Diffusion version 2, and I
Hmm.
didn't get so much difference. I like a little bit more long life, so I decided to get long life. But I think it's interesting to tell you the like the interaction, the interaction. I'm how I'm sending the data to the scope.
Yeah, can you
Through
describe that? Like, what's the interaction layer? How does that look
mechanics,
like?
because you need to open each door, and in the background, in this moment, there are like three canvases. Like you are now seeing the 3GS canvas, but it's already like running the AI canvas of scope, but you are not seeing it. That's only that. But in the moment when you open one door, in that moment I send the prompt of that door. The prompt of that door, I think, was like something like masks in a hallway, something like that, with expressions, something like that. So I send it. Now the canvas of AI is already like doing that generation, and also I will like in the moment that I interact like there, when I will click, I send a reference image to the base that is like a screenshot of like something like this, like the orb and the hole with the textures, like a reference image, only a reference image. But also I'm sending the depth canvas. So also
Okay.
you have the Three.js, the AI canvas, and the depth canvas. That is the same that you are seeing right now, but in a grayscale colors. That's because I tried like to send the 3GS, not the depth, but it get a lot of information, so it doesn't
Okay.
hallucinate so much. It was very like a difference when you use the depth, because yes, you can see the space, and you will see it. You can see the space. It starts like there is like the whole, but the hallucinations is very well done, because it's only like a white and gray scale
I
and
see.
gray
I
scale.
see.
So yes, I use a reference image and the depth canvas to send it.
Got it. So the main interaction and everything you did was through the APIs, right? You
Yeah,
use
yeah,
the server API, server side APIs from Scope.
yeah. All the API from Scope, like when in each interaction, in each moment, I send like the prompts or the reference image, and change like to send it like the depth canvas with each interaction. But it's all the time the Scope API. I'm this has another like problem now. That is all cloud.
Okay.
So this is like deployed in Vercel, and I'm also like the running Scope in Rampart.
Remote stuff. Yeah, in the cloud.
Yeah. It's all cloud. Um, so it has a little bit more like delay maybe from that architecture. But yes, so all the doors are the same mechanics, but the thing is each door has a concept. So each door has a different, yeah, a different type of vision.
One question that I've just gotten is,
Yeah,
so the faces and those visions, they are all generated by Scope, but the hallway itself that you had, that was modeled with Three.js, right? Or how's
that
the
was
setup?
all. Yeah, that was all modeled by myself in Blender, and also like the textures in the hall and in the
Okay.
floor. Was all a 3D classic thing and put it in the Three.js project. All this.
Nice.
And also, I can show you one more door, for example, and go to the last one.
Let's see it.
This one. So yes, I think this has really good potential, to use it in the 3D experiences.
Oh wow,
A game,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, a game or audiovisual interactive experience.
Oh, this is beautiful. Do you remember roughly how many FPSs were you getting, and on which GPU you were running this?
Yeah, 5090.
Okay.
How much FPS? I didn't see it really.
Okay, no worries. I mean,
but
looks pretty smooth still.
see, yeah, I think like it can be like from 10 to 20. No, more to 10. I think sometimes it go like stops, but wasn't so bad.
Fluctuates a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I get that the better perform was this way, like very like still a canvas in the input of the 3GS, but with a lot of reference. If you start like moving a lot with the camera or something like that, can be like dropped a little bit the FPS, but also it's all cloud, so I really think that this will be all local will be better. That's for sure.
I mean, models are improving, infra is improving, so obviously,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that as we go with this, people will be having even better experiences very very soon, right?
Yeah.
The progress has been
I
crazy.
really think this experience is very attached to the state of that technology nowadays. I really try to read that, like what is the best experience I can have with knowing that it has a delay, it has some things to tweak, and the last part, well, if you open all the doors, you can go to the ninth door. That is the last one. This time you can see a little bit of the depth canvas. I put it
with the gray shades,
like aesthetic choice to put it like there. This is like a creature that I model, and now you can like enter to guide the vision, guide the dream. It starts with a prompt that I put, like I think like elder creatures of the forest or something like that. But the idea here is that you can like write and see see how it's changing, of the scenario. For example, I put like write it like very up. Yeah, cosmic journey, something like that, and you can see like there is the creature that I model and the 3D space is there, but reimagined.
This is really
also,
nice.
Also put this is for the book, but also good to play like the base scale, because if you go to more to the one, you will see like very here, for example. I tried that. This is with base scale 1, so you can see that there were like spheres floating and that creature, but it's almost like textured the 3D models and 3D space. But now I'm writing the same thing, planets and asteroids, but I go down base scale to very low. They have a little delay there, but now
Mhm.
you will see it. That yeah, nice start.
Okay,
Like
moves it.
the,
Yeah.
all the free space go like doesn't care, and that's something you can really control with the base scale. So yeah,
Just as we are wrapping up, my last question basically around this
yeah.
is, um, which features of Scope have you used? Have you been using the UI of it for some of the prototyping, or you did all of it in through APIs? And have you employed any LoRa's or just with the Vase? Can you just tell us a little bit about that, and I'll let you go.
Well, I use one LoRa. This has one
Hmm.
LoRa. Was a style LoRa, more like something like I don't know now the name of that LoRa, but
Hmm.
I found it in the Civit AI.
CVTI,
But
yeah, yeah.
was only like style like something like cinematic or something like that. So I write in each prompt in the background like a prefix to the word of that LoRa. It was like KS XR or something like that.
Hmm.
So it has like a similar style. No, it's similar style. So I use one LoRa, yes, but of course I use the UI to find the proper tweaks. Find the
Ah, like
proper.
the settings. So you use it for like
Yeah,
almost like
yeah.
for
I was
prototyping it.
that thing with the base scale, so to know it like
Hmm.
yeah, this number is good. I will send this number.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Juan,
Uh,
that was awesome. Where can people find you and learn more about you? I mean, I know that you have like a profile on our community page, but are you
yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
on the socials? If people are
So
interested, how they can reach you?
for sure, I will continue uploading things in the Daydream scope, Daydream Hub creator
Hmm.
profiles for sure, and also you can see follow me in Instagram. I
Hmm.
put things there, and this GitHub with this project for sure I will continue like working and to be improved.
All right.
Oh,
Uh, thank you. I see some comments. People are saying really bueno, Juan. So yeah, really bueno. Thank you so much for joining and for sharing this with
thank
us.
you.
It was awesome having you as a part of our program. We all learned a lot from you. Thanks for dedicating the time, and yeah, stay in our community. We'll collaborate on something else, I'm sure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. See you. All right, that was Juan. The next project that I would like to share with everyone is from David. David, are you with us?
Hey,
David Dickinson.
people. Hey, good to see you.
Hi, David. Nice to see you as well. We've spent quite a bit of time over the last couple of weeks on Discords and office hours and whatnot. Now is the
Hmm.
opportunity for you to share a little bit more about your project. Congratulations on winning the second place. It was really an awesome project. So it's called Video Conductor. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell us a little bit more about the project, and then you can walk us through it.
Yeah. I guess I've been sort of into training LoRa's for WAN 2.1 over the past couple years, and have been sort of angling at the non-real-time video space for a bit. Um, sort of background kind of way back, got a CS degree, didn't quite use it, and then I've been sort of heading back toward computer programming, and life was happening, but ended up sort of stumbling into this as an avenue that combined kind of a love for, art and visuals with programming and sort of detailed engineering work.
Mhm. So you had like a development engineering experience before this,
Hmm.
or you said it, yeah?
I did. Yeah, I'd taken some time
Mhm.
off, but was heading back toward that. So have been sort of, just attending GPU mode kind of on the side and trying to kind of, find some way to get into into the world of kind of like CUDA kernels and things like that. So this seemed
Mhm.
like a great opportunity to kind of bring those two together.
What excites you the most currently about this entire
Oh,
space?
about this entire space, yeah, just the possibility of the real time interaction. right? Like I
Okay.
had no idea this was here, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh wow! And you already
Yeah.
built that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, just I saw it on Banadoko and just hopped in and just talked
Yeah.
briefly with Eric, and he encouraged me to look at it. And I was like blown away because I already had Laura's on hand that worked great, with Kriya. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what? Let's just go ahead. You
Mhm.
can show us what you've built. I think that's the best
Sure.
way for us to see what you did. Walk us
Yeah,
through it.
yeah. Yeah, so just right here, I've got this sort of text UI on the left that allows me to kind of step through prompts that I have sort of in a text file. And as I do that, we can kind of see, it adjusting kind of in real time. And let's see. Yeah, what's interesting is just the performance that you get out in this auto-regressive mode is sort of unique or different. You get unexpected things like, the characters start talking and emoting, even when the prompt isn't asking for it, which is, so it feels like there's this whole, space of behavior modes and interactions that, is kind of unknown, that we get to dive in and just probe the space and test stuff out. Right. So like,
yeah, you mentioning characters talking. That's one of the things that I also noticed on your creator profile, right? That's one of like I don't even know if I would call them challenges or maybe just like quirks or emerging characteristics.
Right. Yeah, just stuff that it just starts doing, and I guess that's its preference. Like I have no idea where that comes from. Right. And
awesome.
Also the other thing is like, these prompts were originally, made to be like 4 seconds, right? So something starts, it has an arc, it ends. So it's a little weird to ask the model to hold, so if we're looking at like an explosion, right? This is something I was looking at, right? So here we sort of have a gas cloud explosion. And this is originally from one small scene in Akira. This is sort of captions for Akira that I'm sort of stepping through, and I'm swapping out the trigger phrase to match the lore that I'm applying here. And, literally they can be caught in this explosion indefinitely. So it's, just this interesting performance space.
How is it behaving temporally? Like, is there like, how did you manage like a temporal consistency? You said it can run indefinitely. In theory, yes. In practice, what was your experience around it?
It seems to work fairly well, right? Like, I guess it's got this sort of cache bias parameter, like that, it balances, because it's got to respect the past, but not too much. And it's got to kind of balance those two. So one thing that came up in particular is like, when you're trying to switch from one prompt to another, you're kind of fighting against that a little bit. So what I did was, lower that parameter just briefly for like a certain period of time. So I have I can control how many chunks, where a chunk is like 3 frames for this, how long to kind of keep it plastic while you're blending into the new prompt, and to then kind of like lock that in and then kind of go back to normal once you hit that. If that makes sense.
I see. So you did that exactly how? By changing which parameter in the UI? It was the cache bias?
Yeah, the cache bias. So everything I have hooks into everything via sort of a REST API that I kind of like plugged in on the back end. So that way I'm able to send the prompts in real time, and I'm able to kind of like then also record. So I can record the video itself, but also like I'm recording. I don't have it set up right now, but you can record any of the prompts, any of the LoRa changes, right? Because you can blend between LoRa's. So I can capture that whole event stream and then be able to replay it later.
I see.
If that makes sense.
It does make a lot of sense. One of the questions that I've heard about this project in particular was, which model did this guy use, and how come he got some such high FPSs? So can you share it with us?
Yeah. Like so running on sort of B200 to B300, right? So it's a beefy GPU. But starting out, it was I think Kriya's sort of claimed spec was about 11 FPS on a B200, which is about what I saw. But I got booted off the B200 because of I guess GPU mode hackathon, so I had to kind of rebuild from the ground up on the B300, and things were slow, about 8 FPS to start out.
Oh, okay.
So, but a lot of that was then hooking up because Flash Attention 4 is sort of Blackwell native. So that's the new, flash attention is sort of what allows us to kind of like use much longer context windows, speed things up. And so they have, I don't know if they've officially released it, but it's on their GitHub, right? In the
okay, so you just snatched it and used it. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, like it snatched it and used it, but like I guess you had to catch. There are a lot of fallbacks. Like it doesn't necessarily route to the fast path right away. So a lot of it was tracing through and making sure the tensors were in the right shapes at the right points, so it was hitting the fast path. Because it was not for the most part starting out.
I see.
Yeah.
What would you say was the biggest challenge for you? I know that I noticed that you had really nice cutscenes, and I asked you at one point like, how are you doing that? And you explained the stuff about the cache. But what was like the single biggest challenge and how you overcame it?
Yeah, probably just maybe complexity overload, right? Trying to do too many things at once, and yeah, just trying to juggle all that.
Stemming from scope, or stemming from the overall project idea that you had, those complexities that you're mentioning?
Oh, just stemming from overambition. Trying to sort of eat too much.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, because I guess because I was then I'm running video depth anything on the GPU, and then I'm like chasing FPS. So it seemed like the obvious thing to do was to sort of free up the main GPU that I was running on by offloading it to my desktop. But then it turns out you got different clocks living in different places, and like if one guy's sort of consuming frames and not being fed and they're not kind of in sync perfectly, it just kind of starved out the main generation loop.
I see.
So I ended up kind of like getting lost for maybe 3 or 4 days just down that rabbit hole. So yeah, just not knowing complexity ahead of time, like, and getting lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you get around it? Like, I'm asking this question for potential people who will be joining the future cohorts, future programs, and what is it that you think would be helpful for you at that point when you were thinking about it, that we could maybe prepare for them, or what would make the experience even better?
Oh, like generally or specifically lessons from
specifically lessons from your point of view?
Yeah. Well, OBS is maybe your friend. Like that ended up kind of being the main thing that I routed everything through, because a lot of those problems that I was talking about, you just don't have to think about when OBS is in the middle, just taking care of video delivery. Like you can see it's coming in here kind of as my virtual camera input. And in that case, you don't have to really worry too much about any of the issues that I talked about. It just takes care of frame delivery, nothing gets starved, and it's just sort of smooth and everything's good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a lesson learned from your point of view.
Yeah, definitely a lesson learned.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you were to project this in future, like, based on what you've built here and, having some semi-reasonable expectations of what can happen in this domain, how would you develop this further? What would be potentially the next concept that you're interested in exploring?
Yeah. The next concepts is, so right now I'm just sort of going through a linear playlist of prompts, and occasionally you get kind of cool transitions between things, but it's kind of like I can bookmark them and I can rush between them, but you kind of like hit sort of it's hard to kind of go further than that. So I was envisioning maybe potentially a network of prompts where there are relations between them, and certain ones kind of make sense as transitions, and you can kind of like flow between it. So that was one idea. Another idea was I just started dipping my toes into being able to kind of like pause on a prompt and change it up, by asking for variations of it.
Okay.
So to be able to, navigate dynamically through the space of stuff, right? And to test out new visual looks very quickly. So that's one idea. Another was, potentially having sort of an agent that can kind of look in the look back buffer, sort of potentially participating, surfacing ideas, because I have a ton of notes on, various strategies and other, I just have a ton of notes from kind of developing prompts that I'd love to kind of have, at my fingertips if we're trying to navigate in the moment. So something that could kind of surface things just in time and be able to kind of make use of them while staying immersed in generation would be nice.
Awesome. So you have a lot of things charted out for you that you would like to maybe give it a try. As they say. Okay, we'll definitely would like to stay in touch with that and support you and see how that goes. One question is, you obviously used a lot of features from Scope. Can you lay them out for us? So you mentioned you used different LoRa's. Just like walk us through features that you used.
Yes, used a lot of different LoRa's. Used Vase, which I guess I'd integrated, and just how you guys integrated that as well. Using kind of the main Scope user interface, right? So taking, I guess, video input. I guess I'd also extended that for phone, right? So that you could kind of join via WebRTC Room and kind of have your phone kind of pipe in video. And let's see, other features from Scope itself.
So have you interacted a lot with the APIs, or did most of it? How did you orchestrate the entire interaction?
Okay. I guess I was sort of how do you say slashing through quickly. So I essentially set up like a parallel REST API that I kind of quickly iterate on.
Okay, so nice.
Some interfacing with the API, but just because there were a lot of features wanted to add quickly. It was easy just to kind of set up a parallel track for that.
I see.
So
a lot of things have happened in the short amount of time. You did great with that.
Yeah.
What else? I'm just looking. No, one of the things, as I said, that completely blew me off was like super clean, super sharp switches between the scenes, and that was really remarkable to see. Where can people find you? Where can we learn more about you and follow your progress? Obviously on Community Hub that we have, but do you have some socials? Where do you share your work? How can we stay in touch?
For sure. Yeah, I'm D Dickinson on Instagram, and I guess DavidRD123 on Twitter, Hugging Face, and GitHub.
Okay, I hope people will use the opportunity to stay in touch with you. I have to give you one shout out. In our latest release of Scope, you did make some. I would dare calling it a contribution. You did like a PR with us, and suggested some of the changes, and inspired by that, a bunch of those things ended up in the latest release. Maybe in the next week's workshop, Yondan and myself or someone else can talk a bit more about that one. But I wanted to thank you for that and encourage everyone else, if they see some ideas or areas for improvement. It's also visible here. You added even a little recording button, so you were exploring forking Scope. That's the beauty of open source and everything that you can do with it. So thank you for doing that. It helped us also understand how people approach these things, so we can formulate our architecture and extensibility and everything around it in the future.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, it was fun interacting with staff and getting to kind of just talk through and brainstorm on stuff. So really enjoyed that.
Yeah, awesome. David, once again, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on winning the second prize, and looking forward to how you keep developing the Conductor and some future project as well.
Likewise. Yeah, thanks, Vibor.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. All right, this was David and his Conductor, and now it's time for our Scope track winner, Lars. Lars, are you with us?
I am with you. Hi, Vibor.
Hello, Lars. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I was actually just looking for an opportunity. One important part of this entire experience that we had with this AI video program was this community support and people building together. And in the backstage, people who are watching this, they don't know it, but just when we were starting this stream, you had some technical challenge because we made some changes on the Scope side, and then Juan said hey, I was already looking into that. So literally while we were streaming, you were fixing things and making sure that we are ready to go. So that was like a really nice demonstration, I would say, of the power of community and how can people help each other. So I would encourage everyone else to join these things in future as you're rolling them out. Go ahead, Lars. Tell us about yourself and your project.
If you hadn't brought it up, I would also have done another shout out for Juan, who was helping me with getting the changed input for the pipeline fixed. So
Juan, the MVP.
Really nice. Thank you, Juan. And I love also his work, because I think in a way, maybe to introduce my project. I feel like I did something similar to Juan. I just ended up going the other direction later, where I think originally I started this project, and I also say that on my overview page with still using, this was before the workshop, still using the Daydream API and like Stream Diffusion V1 to try out to bring that into Unity. And the results look cool because there's like a lot of creativity in there. But of course, the problem of these models, because they're image-based models, intrinsically is that they're not very consistent. So it was like fun to look at, but didn't work that well. So the idea here was, okay, let's try to do this with Scope, because I also haven't worked with Scope that much before. I just tried it like once. Because I'm a Mac user, I also have to use RunPod because I don't have the hardware to do it locally. And then the original idea was to have the end product be also like kind of an immersive experience and world building type of situation. But while I was working on it, I shifted more to this toolkit approach because I realized I had like a couple of ideas of what would make sense in to build into Unity and like make the like a stronger connection between this game engine and basically like this pipeline, and especially the prompt generation to guide the image generation a little bit. And should I maybe just share my screen and like?
I think you can do that. Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing now. So you can walk us through and tell us what you did.
Yeah. So let's hope this works also live now. But yeah, this is basically the project. This is meant as a toolkit. So ideally, I want to keep working on the GitHub repository, and I want this to be like easy to use also for other people. And there's this default scene here, which I show a couple of objects. So like you have the third-person character that you can control, and then I created these different zones, which let me see. Which basically add to the prompt or can completely replace it. So there's like a suffix zone, which basically can say, okay, millions of butterflies flying around everywhere. So let's see if this works. If I start the thing, yeah, you first get this menu. You can also...
I said, like, let's give it a minute. Sometimes it needs a second to spin up. Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah, so like here you can decide what you want to have in the background as like kind of a start menu, and then maybe also change that depending on what type of world, what type of game you want to build. Then it throws you into the scene, and here you can then walk around basically in the scene and see a little mini map on the screen that also shows you from above where you are, so that you could also control it without seeing this left view that I now have in the editor. If you walk into the suffix zone now, you get butterflies. This is not the most amazing view, to be honest. You can play around a lot with like the steps and the noise, but like the idea is what counts for this one. So like it's just showing you that how you can add things to the prompt. Then next to it, there's a replace prompt that can basically completely replace the thing if you just want something that is unrelated. That is completely unrelated to the scene. Of course, makes zero sense here, but this is the point. It's just the default scene.
Yeah.
Just as an example, you can use that in whatever case or like for whatever purpose you want to have, you want to use it. And here, this I believe is the prefix or prefix zone. And here I just have like a little bit of different values, because for all of these zones, you can then say like your own prompt. I don't know if you can read this or if this is too small, but
it's a little tiny, but you know, that's Unity UI.
Yeah, believe me, you can put a prompt in this little bottom here, and then you can also say, okay, how much noise do I want in the image, and for the second step of denoising, what value do I want to have? I haven't actually tried this while running, so let's see if it probably updates if I go out of the zone and into the zone again. So now you can
give it a go.
Did it? Yeah, but this one, maybe because here it's more important that the noise scale is also different. Let's see. If this means anything, this example. Let's see. Yeah, now I changed the values too badly, and now now you can see that there's like less of a change because I changed these values. Yeah, the point here is just like to play around with it to then for whatever final experience you want to build, do that in a way that or put that in a way that makes sense for you. The last zone, the red one, is a bit boring. That just resets the cache of the API. So like you can just use that if you want to have a door for example, where you can then go through, and then you want to have a clean slate. You can also, I don't know if you see that, but maybe let me put this full screen. But yeah, the mini map on the bottom also has like this camera indicator. When I move the camera around, you can see
like
how
the directional thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because originally, of course, it was a normal third-person camera that you can also move up and down and stuff. But that would be very disorienting, especially with like these video models. So I locked it to only do on the, I think, the y-axis or something to rotate around that. And then you can also reset it always so that the W button is always forward. Yeah, and then you have like these different zones here, which this one turns him into an astronaut. Let's see what the next one does. The next one is, I think, a little bit more aggressive. And now he's like now he's like anime type of robot walking through like some urban Tokyo thing. There's even a couple of cars. Yeah, and that's that one. Maybe let me go back. Yeah, then I also, so like these zones are supposed to like let you easily add things to the prompt. And a part of this toolbox, then there's also these character zones in which you can, on the one hand, write a prompt for the visualization. So for a scope, where you say there's a game-style dialogue scene, sleek high-tech receptionist robot stands there, and so on and so forth. You can also set the noise scale, which you kind of want to be 1 because you don't want the original input to be in there really, because it's like this very different situation. And you can also set a character system prompt. In this case, this one is really long because I gave it like the overview over my project. So then in theory, you could talk to the guy.
So it's like a
and ask him about this toolkit. This one is a little bit of a tricky situation right now to show in real time, just because I cheaped out on not paying for the Gemini API, and sometimes that one is quite unreliable. Let's see if that works right now.
I was about to ask you which LLM are you using, but you outed yourself.
Gemini.
So now we all know.
I mean, Gemini is good. It's just like I should pay.
It is.
I will eventually.
Now you got the prize money. Now you can spend
now I
part
have
of that to Gemini.
I didn't say anything about my background. I'm a student, so obviously I have very little money. So that's why I need to use the Gemini API.
If someone from Google is watching, they should give you some credits.
Please. No, it's okay. I'm okay. Yeah, you can talk to it. Can you tell me more about the toolkit? Please work. Yes, it does work. And now it also starts doing some movement. And if you look at the prompt, beaming with excitement, gestures grandly with both hands, not talking. This one doesn't really have a mouth, so that's fine. But basically, I do like systematically I hard-coded, of course, just to say like when the text finished writing, also put not talking into the prompt, which sometimes works, sometimes less so. It also probably depends on the model. And then I also instruct the LLM to also add short instructions to the visuals that fit to the whatever it's saying, so that you have also some kind of emergent behavior, which is quite fun. If you talk to it a little bit longer, then sometimes it just does things that you wouldn't think that it could do or that it would do, because it's all LLM based and non-deterministic. And I think
David mentioned something like that. I think David mentioned that some of the characters would just start, talking and interacting without really expecting it. So I think that was like an emerging behavior in a way.
And that's just the super fun part about using all of this generative AI and LLMs. Let's see. Then the other way of basically building worlds that I came up with is basically based on what's inside of the camera view. So you can tag objects. Let's see if I can show that. You can tag objects as visible objects. Maybe there's a better name to do this, but that's the one that I came up with. Let's see. Yeah, here is that Japanese convenience store, and that has the Unity tag visible object. So this one will automatically show up inside of the prompt. Where is it? Here, white Japanese convenience store, because the code will also take the color of the object and then also already put it in the prompt, which helps a little bit to guide the image creation to put it at the right object. It also says where in the scene, like where in the camera view the object is. So it says now in the center, white Japanese convenience store. Again, inside with these zones, you can then set here. You see that the image changes a lot because there's quite a lot of like a high noise scale and a high denoising step. But yeah, you can change that however you want. I just thought here it's like interesting because I wanted this area to be like a little bit more abstract, but still follow like the composition, and you can see that works like quite nicely.
How are you making such a quick cuts? Now the character here is changing very rapidly. Are you resetting cache, or how is it working? How did you implement it?
I think here the setting is basically because of the noise scale. The noise scale is really high.
Okay. Okay.
You could just turn it lower. That has nothing to do directly with the visible objects. It's just because I wanted, like, if you look at the tree in the background, it's like very rough. But the idea here is you can do like some easy, simple prototyping to get like some fancy looking scenes. So like this one, because you always have to decide, right? Like how close do you want to stay to the input image? If I walk around at the other area that I've already shown, it will stay really close to the original input. But here I just thought it would be cool to, especially with this anime style, maybe to see like something that is a little bit further removed. And yeah, then you can also go to the store and start the conversation here with the store clerk if the API is still, yes, nice. So you talk to her. Let's see if this works. Do you sell ramen? Very stereotypical conversation.
Such a student thing to ask about ramen.
Yeah, and now she shows up. Now she shows the food, which is just like a nice thing. And now it broke. No, now it's back. Cool, nice. Yeah, and this way then you can say, or like, okay, but I don't have money. I'm gonna leave. I misspelled that. Okay, and now...
Yeah, okay.
She stopped showing the thing. I wish she would wave me goodbye. Bowing slightly at the waist. I think that's something that... she does. She did
it. She did it like She's very polite and nice.
Yeah. But the cool thing here is, of course, like you can just let the LLM decide for this, whatever it thinks is appropriate for the scene. Or you just put that into the LLM prompt, like a guide. Maybe she always waves when the user says goodbye or something like that. And that way you can just basically prototype like characters quickly and stuff like that. I don't know how much more time do we have? Not that much, right?
Just have a couple of minutes. Yeah, we're wrapping up. Maybe I would just, if you want to show something else in addition, you can do that. But while you're preparing for that, potentially, my question is, what was the biggest challenge for you? You said one thing, like, I was just starting with Scope. Most of us just started with Scope because Scope hasn't been around for like years.
Fair enough.
Literally just a bit. So it's new for pretty much everyone. But in your experience with it, what was the most challenging and how you got around it?
I think I easily get lost in trying all of the different parameters, doing a little bit of noise here, then turning the vase thing on again, then off again, and I don't want to spend too much time doing that, honestly. But of course, it would be nice to know like just the right value. But I think especially depending on what you want to make, it's also very different. So I don't know if you have anything like that, but it would almost be cool to have like, and I don't know how feasible that is, especially because with new models all the time, but it would almost be cool to have like something like a table that gives you some base values and like some idea of how that would influence the scene. I don't know if that's doable, but in my dreams, my daydreams, that's
in your
what I
daydreams,
envision.
pun intended. Well, the reason why I'm asking these things is that, as we are shaping for the new cohorts and improving the product and documentation, it always is very valuable for us to hear it directly from the builders, from people who are actually trying these things, succeeded, and stumbled upon some issues. So that's why I like, when you and everyone else on this call was super honest and told, like, I was struggling with this, I was struggling with that. This would help me. So your idea or daydream, however you want to call it at this point, we might actually realize and figure out something down the road, which I think is great.
I hope it's possible, because I don't see that often. Yeah, these like values that make sense, like an overview for that.
Yeah, people are saying in comments, like, with this level of fidelity and how intuitive it is, they could literally spend hours just making their own videos with this pipeline, or pretty much prototyping different use cases or video cases, which I think is very much on point. That's pretty great. So yeah, that's getting people hyped to try Scope.
Yeah, and I hope I can. Yeah, I in the next weeks or so, I want to keep working on the repository and streamline things, fix a couple of bugs, and ideally, the plans would still to have this also work with local machines, of course, like easily, so that you don't have to use Runpod. Of course, I think I need some help from someone that has local hardware.
You can ping us. Yondan and myself and a couple of us on the staff can help you. So just reach out.
I think that would be cool. And I also, because I also say in the in my like overview text that I hope that with like next generation models as well, that this specific use case could work even more. Like if you have less delay or latency, and like a more accurate depiction or more parameters. So I want to make the scripts in Unity also more easily adapt to the different models, maybe that you can even pick them. And then you just input either the Runpod URL or say, I want to use my local scope client. Yeah, and that's basically where I want to go with this, because it's really fun to work on this.
You answered my last question about, where do we like to take it. One thing that I also want to say, I like this little worldview that you have, like this map. It reminds me a lot of the current and upcoming world models, with the navigation, like the Genie 3 from Google and the ones that are coming now. This basically almost emulates that experience. It felt very, very real in that aspect, although it's being generated on the fly, which is kind of a point of it. So really nice job. Again, Lars, thank you so much for joining. Congratulations on winning this one. Hopefully we see you stick around with us in the community and developing this project and many others in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to the whole team, and also thank you to both the other winners. I also love their projects. They're so cool and technically advanced. And everyone else's projects as well. There were so many cool projects where I also hope that people keep working on it.
Exactly. We all learned from all of you, and that's, as I said, was the point of the community. Lars, thank you so much for your time. I know it's late on your end. Thanks for joining us. Until the next opportunity. See you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. So yeah, everyone, this was our overview of the winners of the Scope track. I invite you once again to join our Discord. We will be showing more information there, as we will be also planning our next cohort, which you will be able to join and join the ranks of Lars, of Juan, and David, creating these wonderful things and experiences as we advance together with models and with the entire infrastructure around it. Once again, thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.